team, and that's for real. Oh, you said something? When they kick off, he gon' kneel. I don't wanna hear nothing if it ain't about the bills. We'll be running out the tunnel, better stay up on your heels. We might leave your ankles on the field, put you on the real. How you feel? Feel the watch the sweep just like a broom. Hail Mary, and put his GM in a tomb. Make some room, call it timeout, cause they not ready. Think they feeling all the pressure, cause they know I apply it heavy. Try to cover one-on-one, my cuss gon' be too deadly. Have him watching all that film while he's snuggling on his teddy. Man, who let me step up in the game with a mindset of making sure I'm heard. I'm point intended, it ain't time yet. When it is, I bet you know, don't fix your legs to come around me. If you acting all scary in the snow, oh, you say
Bet online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests, events, with first-to-market odds and lines out, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information, from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game starts.
Sorry, guys, we rusty. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another season of BLEAV and Bills. As always, I'm Justice General Radford, and I'm joined with the legend in 2 games, no Pee-wee. Coach Muki Hawkins is back in the building. What's going on, Coach? How you doing, man? How's your off season?
What off season? It wasn't really an off season, but I'm good. I'm excited about this upcoming season. New old faces go, new faces come in, so I'm really excited to see what this makeup is going to look like for the season for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we got over 200 live viewers in here with us right now, so make sure you guys hit that like button. Appreciate all the love and support. We're gonna go ahead and get into some of the moves that the Buffalo Bills have made in the postseason so far, or off season so far, rather. Some free agency moves, right?
Right.
Now, a lot of people are gone. Okay, we really haven't talked since the whole Black Thursday, where you got Jordan Poyer gone. You got Tre'Davious White gone. Dane Jackson is not coming back. Plenty of people, right? Leonard Floyd is not coming back. So we're gonna have a lot of new faces this season. Gabe Davis is not coming back as well. Who is one of those players who you were maybe disappointed to see go? I know, like for myself personally, it was Ryan Bates. I didn't understand letting Ryan Bates go. But who'd you look at?
Well, obviously, it was tough to see my guy Poirier go. It was tough to see Trey go. But this is the business part of it. Those guys has been pretty much the core of this Bills makeup and the new turnover in Coach McDermott era, and you just hate to see it not really happen for those guys. You really hate for those guys not to at least taste some sort of Super Bowl. So it was tough to see my guy go, but right now he's with the ops right now. So hey, all pro po, I'm gonna see you, man. I miss you, but we're gonna see you, my guy. So more or less, that was tough to see it happen. But Ryan Bates, with the Ryan Bates situation, I say it on the spaces all the time, right? It's like we were nice with this money that they've been spending for years. The Bills have been nice with the money that they have been spending. Brandon Beane woke up one day and say, I'm not trying to be nice with my money anymore. I'm trying to get to a Super Bowl. So Tre'Davious, you're out of here. Poirier, you're out of here. Hardy, you're out of here. Hines, you're out of here. Bates, you're out of here. Morris, you're out of here. And I can keep going on with that list. But I'm not being nice with my money anymore, and we're not at least, so to why we're not getting there. I mean, Ryan Bates, we're paying you to be a backup guard, backup center at $4 or $5 million. You're not playing, so we got to move you, and go more cheap labor guys that's going to be around on rookie deals, for the duration. So I'm excited to see, what this Bills makeup is going to look like. I like the direction that the Bills are heading. We did resign AJ Epineza, so I'm really ecstatic to know that he's going to be around for the next couple of years, and carry on.
Yeah. Speaking of re-signing some guys, right? Just take a look at some of the things that have happened, right? You signed Mitch Trubisky, he's going to be coming back. We did re-sign Quentin Morris. We re-signed Daquan Jones, which is huge. Re-signed running back Ty Johnson, who made a huge spark last year when we were all looking forward to seeing what Leonard Fournette could do. Ty Johnson said, "I was having none of that," and he was like, "It's my spot, and I'm keeping it."
Pretty much.
And he kept it, right?
I spoke with Coach Skipper at the combine in reference to the Leonard Fournette situation, and he said, "Man, we would have loved to have Leonard in the beginning of the season."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that was, the thing with Leonard Fournette. I mean, obviously, when you're on the couch, and man, it's October, November. Yeah, you're not going to be in shape. You're not going to be in some sort of playing shape, and that was the thing with Leonard Fournette. Not to say that he's not, a dynamic player. It's Leonard Fournette, but in any player, if you sit around for a long period of time, you're not going to be in no type of game shape and game reps and stuff like that. So that's what it was with Leonard Fournette. They just wish that they had a whole full off season with him. But now, since it's a brand new season, man, okay, yeah, Ty Johnson, definitely a guy who flourished in Joe Brady's scheme, but we're going to bring in a younger guy in this year's draft, that can fit that mold and be a part of this offense for the next 4 years. So yeah, that's how that shakes out.
You hear it all the time, guys talk about having to, stay ready, when they're not necessarily signed or on a team or whatever the case may be. And they always talk about how there's no simulation for game speed. There's no simulation for game durability. You know what I mean? So of course it's gonna take some time in order to get back into the swing of things when you aren't with the team throughout training camp, etc. Some more signings. Signed wide receiver Matt Collins, linebacker Nick Morrow, and maybe the biggest signing of the offseason so far is wide receiver Curtis Samuel, former Panther, former Commander. Have some ties there to Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott, his first year in Carolina. Now, Curtis Samuel comes in, theoretically could be anywhere from 2 to 4 on the wide receiver depth chart. What are you looking at? What are you expecting for Curtis Samuel to produce for this team?
Well, I love the pickup because he is a piece that you could move all over the place. Like you just mentioned, he can go anywhere from 2 to 4, and he can also play in a backfield for you. So will it be 20 personnel? Will you see James Cook and Curtis Samuel in the backfield, running a real more profound RPO instead of a basic RPO that they were in last season? So when we get these type of players, me as a coach, my brain gets to get the brainstorming on, how you can put this guy out there on the field with all the other weapons that you have. So it was definitely, you don't want to say it's a splash, but it was definitely a splash that the guy was able to bring a guy of Curtis Samuel caliber in here because, he's going to definitely be slot. That's for sure. And he's 4.3 speed. He's another dynamic guy, playmaker ability with the balls in his hand that, he can take it the distance, whether it's a pitch, whether it's a stand-up screen, or whether if it's one-on-one with that safety, and we all know at the end of the day, if we would have had Curtis Samuel over here instead of Sherfield, it easily could have been a different scenario. So I definitely love that pickup. He's a guy that's definitely going to take some of the strain off of Stephon Diggs.
Yes.
And Matt Collins, I do like that pickup too, because here it is a guy that's 6'4", 200. I mean, he's going to be that special teams guy, but here in all, he can pose as a red zone threat, something that is lacking, in this Bills offense. So I do like those pickups that the Bills were able to, bring in this year to help Josh out.
Yeah, for sure. You take a look at a guy like Curtis Samuel, and he's kind of been reduced to a gadget role, only specifically, in my opinion, is because his quarterbacks just couldn't necessarily get him the ball in his strong suits, down the field or whatever the case may be. When you take a look at the array of quarterbacks he's had, Sam Darnold, Tyler Heineke, guys like that. But, you go from Taylor Heineke to Josh Allen. That is a massive upgrade. It'll be able to show kind of, what you can do. Not only that, but you also can, have the screenplays and then things like that set up for him, in which, he can thrive in that way as well. All right. A couple more signings here. We got safety Mike Edwards, which is huge, especially when you lose the dynamic duo that is Poyer and Hyde, defensive end Casey Toohill, offensive lineman Will Clapp, and then defensive tackle Austin Johnson, which I believe was yesterday or a couple days ago. So that rounds out the signings. What about those guys? What do you think of Casey Toohill, Will Clapp, and adding some depth to the line, Austin Johnson for the defensive line?
Well, again, I do like these pickups. I mean, it's going to be some one-year deals and stuff like that. The Bills did that with probably like 20 guys last year. But I'm quite sure they was like, we're not going to go one-year deal goofy this year. But, I mean, obviously you do have to do that because you have to build a 90-man roster, right? Right now the Bills is probably halfway there. So they have to bring in those necessary guys that's going to be rotational depth guys, but guys of quality, guys that's going to come in those roles and, play at a high level. And I think that Casey Toohill could easily be, a Shaq Lawson replacement, if you will. You know what I mean? You bring in a younger guy. He does have a high motor, more of a run defender. So he got a lot of reps last year because, they got rid of Sweat and Young last year. So they were able to, he was able to get some quality reps. So that could, easily turn over into what this new Bills defensive line is going to look like. So I do like the pickup there. They know they haven't made it official with Austin Johnson, but I do like that pickup as well. 6'4", 300 that could push the pocket. We definitely need some guys with some size and some length, to, get off with those guards and stuff like that. So they're just trying to add that rotation back up to what it was last year. Bills were top 5 dead or alive in sacks, something that they haven't been in quite a while. So I know they want to keep that going with, some more high energy guys. So I like the direction that the Bills is going. They're not spending too much money. And, again, they made the necessary moves to free up money, and they still could get more money with, you got the restructuring now with Taron Johnson. You had the restructuring now, the extension, with Taron Johnson and Deion Dawkins. Now the big question is, will the Bills go to Stephon Diggs and have him restructure? So if they do, then maybe the Bills got their eye on something to make another baby splash before free agency is really out the door. So I do like those pickups. You got Vince Morrow, another guy that he carried the green dot, didn't have a great season at Philly last year, but just those qualities on knowing where to put guys in the proper position when being out, on the floor. We didn't have that experience, especially with Matt Milano going down. And then Jarrell Bernard, unfortunately, he goes down. The Bills wasn't really didn't trust Dorian Williams to carry the green dot, so that's why they brought in AJ Klein. So so again, I do like the moves that the Bills are moving in, and now we just have to wait and see what the draft have to offer us. They brought back Cam Lewis, another guy that nobody's talking about, but he's another guy, a glue stick guy that really made things happen on special teams, which made obviously Saran Neal expendable. So yeah, I do like the direction that the Bills are moving in. Stack more weapons for Josh, but go ahead and get some hungry guys on that defensive side. Mike Edwards was definitely a sleeper gem of a pick. So again, he rushed here. Mike Edwards rushed here. Like, you just woke up like, damn, they signed Mike Edwards. Like, everybody wanted Justin Simmons. I'm always all in favor of that. But at the end of the day, they want to come to Buffalo, but they want to come to Buffalo with a bag. And again, Brandon Beane said, we don't have that type of money to, to make those type of splashy moves. So either you're going to come here on a 1-year prove it deal, prove that, hey, you're still one of the best out here on a contending team, or go get your bag on a team that's not going to contend, and then you're going to be released the very next year because we're paying you way too much money and we're not competing. You can look at the situation with OBJ, right? He came in, he wanted his bag, he got his 15 million in Baltimore, but you're cut right now. You're without a job right now. Rather than playing on a team like Buffalo at a discount, and then next year go get your bag. This year would have been a year to go get your bag if the Bills didn't reach the ultimate goal. So, there's going to be a lot of guys out there like that right now, and they better hurry up because the draft is right around the corner. And you're just gonna be stuck on the couch until somebody goes down at that point.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna see a lot of rummage sales with these free agency in the up and coming weeks. So I do like the position that the Bills are in. It kind of just like finagled my mock draft. I said, you know what, I'm just gonna wait till free agency be completely over. Then I put my mock draft up because they kind of settle. I mean, you got Daquan Jones and you got Ed Oliver. So we know those two guys are starting. So what defensive tackle that the Bills are going to draft that's going to come in and start, you don't know. What safety if the Bills is going to draft right now that's going to come in and start. You don't know. So it teeters with my my draft board right now. But one thing I can say for sure right now, Bills wide receiver is top on that list, that one.
Yeah, hopefully. I would definitely like to see one of those guys. The wide receiver class is stacked this year. So can't really go wrong, taking one of those guys. Hopefully we are able to get one of the top guys. But, we'll see how all that shakes out. Almost 700 live viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube page as well. So some more changes, right? This isn't necessarily a change, but it's a change, right? We officially have made Joe Brady the offensive coordinator, and Bobby Babich has been upgraded to defensive coordinator. Now, coach, we had a rookie offensive coordinator at some point. Didn't necessarily work out. Now, with Babich, it's a little different because McDermott is the head coach. Therefore, he'd be able to guide them in any way. You know what I mean? But does it give you a little cause for pause at all that, you have coordinators that are so inexperienced?
Yes, it definitely do. It definitely gives me that pause for cause, especially on the offensive side. Because again, not to say that Brady didn't do an excellent job last year. He did. I mean, he salvaged, what was an offense that didn't have any rhythm, didn't have no symmetry. At some point, we wonder why. They were on a 7 to 8 game winning streak, one of the longest in the NFL. So there's definitely a lot of pluses rather than minuses when you look at the dynamic of what Joe Brady was able to do at a short period of time. Now, given that this is your baby now, you are sole controller of the helm, what do you do to be a little bit different? Because I think down the stretch, I don't want to say like it looked like they ran out of plays, but it kind of looked like that, And then we always talk about the infamous 2nd and 9, the infamous 2nd and 9 play where, the right read was Shakur, but Diggs and Kincaid and they were open as well. So that's where I say the inexperience, more or less. I can't say of the coordinator because that was a good play. But on 3rd and 9, what did we call? What was that on 3rd and 9? Just let's get rid of the woulda, shoulda, coulda with that play. What would happen on 3rd and 9? How can we? I think we mismanaged that last 2 minutes down the stretch.
It wasn't the first time either.
You knew that Tyler Bass was pushing the ball right the entire game. So, the game plan at least should have been whatever happens, let the ball end up on the left hash instead of the right hash. Because if a ball was on the left hash, if he pushes it right, it still splits the uprights. So, that's the thing that, and that's more on McDermott too, because you're the head coach at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So we needed a better game plan on how to close the game out, because it didn't come down to the defense this time. And everybody want to say, oh, well, that we had Klein and those guys out there, but offense had the ball last. The defense did their job,
Yeah.
Offense had the ball. And that's when it showed me that we just didn't have enough playmakers out there for Josh. So this is it. You see the playmakers coming in. You see a Matt Collins. You see a Curtis Samuel. You hear the talk of the Bills getting another receiver at pick 28. So sometimes playmakers make coaching right. You know what I mean? So we just got to go ahead and keep stacking the deck for Josh. Get some more A-plus players in here for Josh. Stop going to Aldi's and Save a Lot and think that you're going to get to a Super Bowl with these guys. Go ahead and get you some more Wegman players. You went to Wegmans twice. You got a Stephon Diggs. You got a Dalton Kincaid. Please continue to shop at Wegmans during the drive.
Absolutely. Yeah, and anytime you can hold the actual, people give the Bills a lot of slack for losing to the Chiefs. The guys won the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? They were
but we got to stop respecting.
I'm not. I'm just specifically saying you can't crap on the Bills for losing to the team that beat everybody else. And the defense holds, the Chiefs under 30 points. You got to be able to score 30 points and get that W. So, yeah. I mean, you just got to be better than that, and that is something that we have struggled with.
I got some push-ups I got to get. Josh owed me some push-ups. Diggs owed me some push-ups. My boy D Darky owed me some push-ups.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get my push-ups from those three guys. I'm getting my push-ups.
Might have to. All right. So before we get up out of here, let's go ahead and touch on the draft real quick. We kind of talked about it. Wide receiver is kind of what a lot of people want. There's a lot of wide receivers, a lot of talent, and we need one. So this is a perfect time to go ahead and get a blue chip player. Are there any specific guys you're looking at or any surprise picks that you might expect to see?
Well, my top three, right now is, Brian Thomas Jr., Keon Coleman, and Xavier Legette. I think that those three guys bring a different element to this Bills offense, which has been lacking, right? I mean, we know Stephon Diggs is just the ultimate dog. Dalton Kincaid proved his first round value. So you got a guy like Brian Thomas who, he just had to refine his route running ability. But you can see that he's a 2 that could turn into a 1 with time, right? So you want to bring in a guy like that. Again, 6'4", can run all the routes, right? 210 pounds, and he's a willing blocker out there. And then, he comes from LSU. We played against some of the best talent in college football. So you would like to pair that with a Stephon Diggs and the Kincaid and the Curtis Samuel and the Dawson Knox and the James Cook and the Josh Allen. On the flip side of that, a Keon Coleman, another guy that has a crazy catch radius. One thing I like about Keon Coleman, he's very aggressive on catching the ball. Like his pluck ability is off the charts. And he brings an element to this offense that's been lacking forever. We struggle inside the red zone every time. From 20 to 20, we are the best around, hands down. But when we get inside that 20, it's like, oh, my God, we don't know what to do. And we can easily have a guy that's a 6'4", that's a 50-50 specialist, and that has Moss ability. Go and get that guy because he's going to be one-on-one. Kansas City showed you that last year, right? He's going to be one-on-one. So pick your poison. We got a guy that could be a red zone target, and he's also a playmaker at 6'4" as well. Very athletic. So I wouldn't mind getting him at pick 28. And then you got a guy that's in Xavier Legette that, to me, everybody want to say he's a DK Metcalf type of guy. How about Eric Mose? 6'1", 6'2", 220, strong hands, and he runs a 4.3 as well. So you compare that with a Curtis Samuel, a Stephon Diggs, a Dalton Kincaid, a James Cook, a Khalil Shakur, and they poses a lot of problems. So those would be my top three. Now, where do they fall in the draft? We soon shall see, because Keon Coleman is slipping to the point where the Bills have a big-ass gap between 60 and 127, and I know Bean don't like that. I know not to have no pick in the third round. There's going to be so much good players that you're going to miss out still that's in that top 100. So maybe they can have their eyes on Keon Coleman, knowing that he's going to slide a little bit. Hey, you can easily make a trade with Carolina, your favorite buddy, right? At pick 33. You don't have to move back too far, just 5 to 6 spots from 28 to 33. Hey, Carolina, give us your third round pick to move up these 5-6 spots. and we still got Keon Coleman on that board, I think that's something that easily you can go ahead and do. If not, if Keon Coleman is not there, let's say that Keon Coleman and Brian Thomas goes off the board early, and they're top 25 or top 20 guys, right? And they're off the board. I do feel that the Bills will start to move back in the draft to get a third-round pick, and you still got a guy like Xavier Legette that will still be on your board, and maybe you could eye that way. The Worthy guy, I know everybody loved the 4.21 speed, but
yep, Texas.
I mean, look at guys that's been speed burners in the draft. You look at John Ross. What type of career did he have? Tyquan Thompson that got drafted from New England. We don't even know where that guy is right now. So right, he ran the 4.21, but he's a real. He's a toothpick. If that guy gets hit, then that 4.2 don't mean anything. He's on the sideline for you, and you're not getting value at, the pick that you got him. You just goofy over the speed right now. We don't need that. We don't need that. If a guy like Brian Thomas running 4.3, and again, Keon Coleman, he did run a 4.6, but in that gauntlet drill, he showed you that he runs faster than that. So,
right.
Adai Mitchell, I don't see the 4.35 on tape. He do give you those Stephon Diggs type of traits as far as the route running and a little bit of separation, but I just don't see 4.35 on tape. So, I would stay away from those two guys, but I wouldn't be mad if the Bills went and got a Mitchell. But those top three guys I just mentioned, and Thomas, Coleman, and Legette are, some of my top wide receivers. Now, I know that the Bills are definitely going to get a D tackle. Y'all know that, some of my top three guys, obviously Byron Murphy. I don't think he's going to be available at pick 28. Tavondre Sweat, a guy that's 6'5", a mammoth of a guy, a space eater, somebody that's going to demand a double team and allow a guy like Ed Oliver to be one-on-one with a guard. We need a guy like that. But he gotta watch that damn weight. He definitely gotta watch that damn weight. A guy in the draft that I think that gives me Chris Jones-like traits, Ruke Rohoho, from Clemson. Go check out the tape on that guy. 6'5", 295 pounds. The Bills, I'm quite sure they could put a couple more pounds on that guy. But the motor, the strength that this guy has is definitely something that the Bills can use. So when you look at those two position groups, and then, you could throw safety in there because we still light at safety as well. So you got a Cam Kitchens, you got a Javon Bullard. Those guys played at Georgia and Miami respectively. And let's not forget, we have a new DBs coach. John Butler is no longer on the staff. You know what I mean? So that's another topic of discussion in reference to that. That's what Kyer Elam, JB. That's what happened. So, we got a new defensive coordinator. The defensive DB coach, and he came from Miami. And then he came from, Georgia and Miami was the last two that he was at. So don't be surprised if you're not seeing a guy from Georgia and a guy from Miami on that back end on this Bills defense. So, those are some of the guys in the draft that, I'm looking at. That mock draft will be coming out very, very soon, right after Easter. So, make sure you go check that one out.
Absolutely, absolutely. To your point, you talk about Keon Coleman and him running a little bit slower of a 40. You take a look at the film from the year Gabe Davis got drafted. They were happy he ran slower because they saw what he could do on film. It's like he plays a lot faster. So, this gives us a better opportunity to go get him. And I think this is the same concept with Keon Coleman there.
Keon Coleman, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go on a limb and say this about him. Keon Coleman easily could be a T. Higgins of the draft.
Okay.
A guy that's going to slide for some strange reason and then be a dog in the NFL. And we all know what T. Higgins is doing right now. He's got a franchise tag at $22 million right now. So Keon Coleman easily could be the T. Higgins of this draft. You heard it first.
We gonna see. It's gonna be a lot of talent. Draft night is going to be crazy. That whole weekend is going to be crazy. There's going to be a lot of teams in the NFL to get better because there's a lot of good talent in this draft. So we'll see what Brandon Beane and Buffalo Bills can do with this. But that's going to do it for us here, guys. 930 live viewers, guys. Thank you so much. Make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe and everything. Just believe in Bills. Coach, you want to go ahead and send us out, man?
Brandon Beane is routing this roster. Do you believe? Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information, from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game starts.